Hey, what's up, guys? We are here and we're here for a very special talk, man. We've got the one and the only Caio Machado getting ready for the Contender Series. And we wanted to touch base because we've had him plenty times on the podcast. We spoke. He's one of our favorite guests. But I'm here. I'm in Vancouver. I know he's from the area. So, of course, he's the first guy that I contacted and wanted to get to speak to him face to face, man. How you doing, brother?
Man, I'm doing great. It's always a pleasure to come on the show, and I really like the opportunity to finally meet up in person. You're far away, so it was nice to see you in Vancouver, to see you at the BFL show, and nice to be able to do the podcast live. So let's do it.
Of course, my guy. Of course, man. We'll get into everything, like the contender series coming up and everything. But since you're here, I wanted to start at the beginning of stuff. So, you born in Brazil, right?
Yes.
In Sao Paulo.
So my city is called Presidente Prudente. It's on the interior. It's to the São Paulo because it's the state of São Paulo and the city of São Paulo. I live in the state of São Paulo, 6-hour drive to the capital.
Okay, so you're not from the city per se.
Yeah,
you're from the
but
state
but
of...
but it's still in decent sized cities. Like we have around 250 to 130,000 people. So we got everywhere around. It's the biggest city in the region. Good, had a good childhood growing up.
Is it like... How can I say it? Is Sao Paulo the closest big city to you guys?
Yeah, like I live in a spot right now that I'm very close to São Paulo. I'm the same distance from São Paulo to in Curitiba.
Okay. Oh, that's pretty nice, man. That's pretty nice. So you said you had a nice childhood. I want to know, how is it like growing up in Brazil, man? I always wanted to go. That's one of the countries that I never had the chance to visit yet.
Like Brazil is beautiful. Like there's so much stuff to do, so many places to go. As childhood goes, like I live in this city that like has a little bit of everything, but there's that kind of small city interior vibe. My family runs a college over there,
Okay.
and so when I say my family, it's not my parents, it's my aunts and uncles and grandpa. So we all work. They all work together, and they all live like a block away from each other. So we had like 10 cousins, 12 12 uncles, my grandpa. It's always been like big family thing like that. You know the stereotypical big Latin family.
Yeah.
That was what we had at home. So very happy to have a very loving and caring relationship with my parents and with my family. And I grew up with not much to worry about. Like it was fun. Always played sports. Always had a good time. I really cherished that at the time.
Amazing. So did you start training there or here?
Yeah, so I have 2 periods that I train. I say I started training BJJ when I was 10 to 11 years old. I was a little bit bigger than all my friends. So, and like just playing around, I kind of heard then and didn't know how to understand how big I was. I still don't have, sometimes I don't have idea how big I was. Sometimes when I look on the mirror close to someone that's small and I say, oh, okay, I'm that big. But so my mom put me on the BJJ classes so I could understand my body strength and all. And that was good. I got a little, like 2 years over there. I started competing a couple of times. But I didn't have the passion for the sport back then. I was more interested to play soccer, what I'm not really good at.
Mhm.
Then I was training basketball as well. I got called to play for the city as a like a JV or something like high school, not preteen teen city basketball. So we would play like state championships and on a bunch of stuff. So that's when I stopped training martial arts for a bit, and I did a little bit of rugby when I was here in Canada in Nova Scotia. During high school, I came over here for an exchange program, did a little bit of rugby, came back, and that's when I started as 16, 17 years old. I started watching more MMA, started getting involved more with the sport. Came back to train, started Muay Thai, got more interesting with the MMA scene, and always pushed to try. But with college and injuries, I never got the actual chance to debut MMA. So once I came here and got the chance, I jumped in right away.
Okay, so basically the first place in Canada you've been was Nova Scotia.
Nova Scotia, Dartmouth, just outside of Halifax.
Oh, that's cool. That's closer to my home than here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Then I came this way because that was so damn cold.
yeah, bro. Yeah, man. Especially there, because they got the ocean too.
The wind
So
like cats.
the winds go crazy back there. When it's like one of the places where, like, you look at like the weather forecast, you're like, oh, it's gonna be like say -12. Like it's not that bad. But when you go outside and it's windy, you feel like it's -35 degrees.
Yes, for
man.
sure, dude. Dude, there was sometimes I remember like when it was very wind and very cold, like I had cuts on my face just from like the wind coming on us. That was fun. I had a great time, but that was too damn cold. So when I decided to come back to Canada, I look in the map. Where is the warmest place I can go in this place on this country?
There's just here.
And
Basically, it's the only place. Because I know I don't want to get into geography or whatever, but like that's the weird thing about Canada is that where most people live outside of here and like the other big cities, it's called, I think, the Windsor to Quebec corridor.
Mhm.
And it's like a peninsula that goes down with the St. Lawrence River and then to the big lakes. So basically, most people in Canada live south of here. Basically, to get here, I had to drive 4 to 5 hours north, then go west.
So wait, you came here by car?
Yeah, I came here by car.
That's a fun trip. How long did it take to get here?
It took 5 days to get here.
Awesome.
We did 3 times 12 hours, and that got us to Calgary, basically. And Calgary is like 10 hours away from here.
Yeah.
So we could have done it in 4 days easily, but we wanted to be in Banff a little
Fair
bit.
enough.
And
Banff is fine.
like we'll watch, like go to Lake Louise and the hot springs and whatever there's to do back there. So we did 3 days of 12 hours from Montreal to Hearst, Ontario.
Yeah.
Never go there, bro. Never. There's no reason to ever go there. Like for a stretch in northern Ontario, Hearst is one of the biggest cities you're gonna go through, and I think there's like 7,000 people who live there. Like from Hearst to Thunder Bay, and that's one thing I found funny. From Hearst to Thunder Bay, there's no Tim Hortons, no McDonald's. But every village has a Subway for a reason or another, and it's always a Punjabi guy working there. And I don't know how it's even possible that a guy comes from India and ends up in like Hearst, Ontario, or whatever.
I have no idea.
But yeah, so we did. That's 12 hours. Montreal to Hearst to Winnipeg, which is probably even worse than Hearst, honestly. But it's a big city, and then from Winnipeg to Calgary. Then we went to Banff, slept in Golden, and went from Golden to here.
Nice, man.
And bro, it was amazing, honestly, for 2 reasons. First of all, I was coming here, so I was super excited, and like the drive didn't seem that long because I was coming here.
100%.
And the other thing, we might have had like 15 minutes of rain during the 5 days, and it wasn't even consecutive, you know? So that's like awesome. It was sunny, no clouds. So when we got into BC and the Rocky Mountains and Alberta, like no clouds at all. So we could see everything. It was absolutely beautiful. And so basically I drove here, but where I was going with that is all of Canada is so up north. Basically, when I'm in Montreal, if I go to the west in a direct line, I'd arrive in South Dakota. So all of North Dakota is more up north than Montreal and Toronto and all that area.
Oh, yeah. I get it. You guys are a little bit softer.
Because we go down, then it goes back up, and then it's all of a straight line from like Western Ontario to here. So it's crazy to think that Vancouver, which is way up north from where I'm at, is the place where the weather is good. But man, with all the mountains and everything is kind of a microclimate.
Yeah, 100%.
There's nothing that's getting through all these mountains.
Oh, hell no. That's also why we get a lot of rain here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you came in the perfect time of the year. Now it's warm, but from probably like, let's say October to March, it's raining every day nonstop.
Yeah, I know, but I like it. Like, man, I was here in February and in December, and I was outside with a hoodie. And yes, there's a little rain and everything, but you gotta
Oh, yeah,
understand that it's
I
minus
yes,
25
makes
back
sense.
home,
Fair enough.
and we gotta shovel fucking snow out of the driveway every morning and shit, and have winter tires. And people drive like that's the thing I hate the most. I think people in Quebec are stupid. We get hella snow every year, and every time it starts snowing, people start to drive like they never seen snow in their
Also,
life.
that's not just here.
No, that's not just here. Here, I know that like the city shuts down for that much snow. Here, we can get like 2 or 3 feet of snow in a like very good storm or whatever. But people like, bro, there's snow every fucking year. You got winter tires,
Get our
like,
shit together.
yeah, like fuck, man.
I complain about traffic all the time. I think in Vancouver,
Yeah,
Peop-
never come to Montreal too for that, bro. We
dude,
got the worst traffic.
even if it's sunny, people
Yeah.
drive like shit here.
Yeah, I kind of figured that out, man. Because I've been going to like North Van and West Van a lot for the mountains and the trails and stuff, and like it's always like traffic for Lion to go on Lions Gate,
Mm-hmm.
like hella traffic all the time, and I'm like, bro, how is it even possible? It's like,
Solid. No,
but yeah, no, people are dumb. But
yeah, man, sounds like a great trip.
no, it was an amazing trip. I think the drive back will be way worse though, because
It is.
because like
Always
when
the
when I cross like through the Rockies and everything, then bro, I'm on flat land for like 3 to 4 thousand kilometers, and I know that I'm going back home to work and shit. So
Fair enough. Yeah, no. Always coming back from vacation is worse
Yeah.
than going forward because you're excited to get to the place, but
yeah,
on the way back, you're just dragging the work on a
and
Monday.
like, it's gonna be like an old drag, because like, man, when I go by plane, it sucks because I can leave here at like 12 and I get back home and it's 9 p.m. because I just got stolen 3 hours.
Yeah.
But now I'm gonna see the hours go by gradually, and like the other thing, I'll stop complaining after that. But the only thing is the speed limits. When you come from Quebec to here, you can go faster all the time. But when you leave, it's slower all the time. You go from 120 here to 110 in Manitoba and Saskatchewan
Oh,
to
that's
100 in Quebec, but Northern Ontario, since the highway it's kind of remote, it's 90 kilometers an hour,
no.
and it's a route that it's only like trucks that are shipping stuff. So you gotta follow 18 wheelers all the time, and
Oh,
now you try to fucking get away from them, and then you got like 3 or 4 kilometers of open road, then you get another convoy of trucks. And
dude,
shit.
I drove a lot back home, and like our roads are not even close as nice. Like we have the good roads we have are the private ones, but like a lot of roads has no maintenance, and we always like running behind trucks and stuff.
Yeah.
I got you, bro. I got you.
So is it hotter in the north of Brazil, huh?
Yes,
So
because
south of Brazil, can you guys live?
yes,
Because I know, because of course you're from there, so you like the heat. But I'm from Canada, so I prefer snow, and like
so we have no snow in Brazil.
that I kind of figured out.
The cold, if it's raining, the coldest day in the year in the southest part of Brazil, and a little bit hot when you have a little bit of elevation, you might get hail, but no snow at all. We the way because of Brazil, like the south is closer to the
The South
South
Pole,
Pole
basically.
than
Yeah.
and the north is close to the equator. So that's very hot. It's very hot. Very like imagine Florida.
Yeah.
It's about the same. It's about the same kind of like very wet and hot. But in south, it's good. Like we have all the forestations. Like I usually when I travel with my family. I usually go to the beach south instead of north, just because it's closer. São Paulo is kind of southwest, southeast in Brazil. So yeah, like it's gonna be different where you go, but like Brazil has so many stuff to do, so many things to go. So it's if you haven't been there yet, like it's a trip that worth going.
Yeah, I need to go there every time because my gym is with Nova União.
Yeah,
So basically, my coach got his black belt from Wagner Fabiano, and Wagner and Leo are in Canada a lot.
Mhm.
But every time there's somebody that comes for a seminar, like Wendell Alexander came a couple of
Yeah.
times, Talis Latest, and they always say, "Oh, you should come to Rio. We got places you can stay and come by the gym." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'd like to come." I think Rio's probably super fucking hot, and I don't want to get killed.
Like that's the thing. It's not that dangerous. Like if you're thinking like you're just gonna be running on the sidewalk and someone gonna put a gun in your face, that's not how it works. Like there's the areas that are more dangerous. There's the places you're just gonna be aware. Like of course there's sometimes you might get mugged, but like you can get mugged in New York, you can get mugged here.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not that more dangerous. Of course, if you're gonna go to the favelas on that are controlled by the traffic, if you go to a dark corner in the middle of the night, like you need to be aware. Like I say, like I don't look forward, I look around. Like I need to be aware what's going on around me. Otherwise, I might get in trouble. But you just be careful. But most important, be careful with the cab drivers because they're gonna see you're a foreigner and they're gonna loop you around and make you pay way more than you should.
Oh, that's good hustle though. Props to them for getting their money, man.
Hey, it's all about the hustle.
Yeah. So when did you get here?
I got here in end of 2015.
Okay, so not that far from your beginning of your MMA career.
No, I debuted in 2017, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, I was, but I haven't, I had a hiatus on training when I first got here, just because of I needed to adapt and figure out what I was doing. It came with one of my ex-girlfriends, and she was having a really hard time. So it was kind of work from home and school, and until when I finally got back was May 2016, and I was like 290 pounds, 285 pounds. So I had to go back, put some work. Then they said, "Hey, okay, you're ready to go." And beginning of 17, I started fighting.
Yeah, and you had amateur fights for BFL too.
No,
No?
I have no amateur MMA
Okay,
fights.
so you're one of these ones.
Yeah,
It's crazy that you and Mateo are on the same Contender Series, and you guys got the. He did the same. He was doing jiu-jitsu tournament. I saw him at some tournaments here and there, and like he was really good. Like I
Mhm.
saw him like climb the absolute divisions. He was climbing the back of some huge guys in the gi and fucking doing standing bow and arrows and absolutely insane stuff to like some purple belts and some like really good people. And then he just started fighting MMA, and he was pretty good, man.
Yeah, with me it was the Muay Thai. I competed BJJ, but more I've always been better on, like I always like the striking more. I always putting a little bit more working on competing as a striker. And I think if I'm not wrong, I have 16-1 as a Muay Thai fighter, amateur, between small local tournaments and national. I have two Brazilian championships, 2012 and 2013. Sorry, 13 and 14. I got second in 12, but I still believe I got robbed that year. So it's about that. Like I already had the the fighting experience. Already been training for many years. So when I talked to Coach Franco, he said right away, "Dude, you have no point to spend some time and energy fighting for free. Get some money, go get paid, and go build your career."
Yeah. So did you come directly to Franco's gym, the first place you went?
So I also try Lions MMA when I
Okay,
first
yeah,
got here,
downtown here.
but I don't know. I felt Lions didn't have any bigger guy back in the day. At least the day I went over there, and also I was living in downtown, and I moved to like very close to FKP. So workout that they had, the kind of workout like I wanted. The second I got there, as far as Jaden, I don't know if you know Jaden
Yeah,
Martin.
Jaden
Yeah,
Martin.
he's
Yeah.
one of my coaches, one of my training partners. So yeah, that's the guy I want to compete with, like in a daily basis. He'll help me to get better. And Franco is honestly one of the most knowledgeable guys around here. So I got a good mix. I could walk to the gym. So here I'm staying.
Yeah, that's it, man. Then you fight pro and you get a draw first fight.
Don't tell me about this fight, dude. You probably didn't watch the fight.
I did not watch the fight. That was the moment where BFL was tough to find. Basically, I think the first show I was able to watch was when Jamie Lynn fought Jade Masson-Wong from
Oh
Quebec.
yeah, that was way
That was way
after
after,
was
like,
the debut. Yeah.
and like so the only info I had on any BFL fights was David Perron,
Okay.
because he's from Quebec, so I know him, whatever. So he gave me like the scoops. Oh, this guy's pretty good. That guy's pretty good. Whatever. So no, I didn't have the chance or
So-
I don't know how to say, but I don't think it was a chance if I hear you speak about it. Like,
So if I can, my experience on that fight, I was doing well. I was hitting him very well in the first round, feeling good. Wasn't very dynamic on switching to striking to ground. I still needed to work on. But what I still felt I won the rounds. What fucked me over. Sorry for the
yeah,
words,
don't
but
worry, man. We're not a PC platform.
fair enough. But what fucked me over was like he complained about two low blows that like I'm really sure didn't happen. I had both on the sternal, both like not sternal, both on the body, and he complained it was a low blow. I got a call out this first time. I complained with the ref. Second time they took me a point. There comes the draw. But to this day I don't believe it. And even like we rematched a year later.
Yeah.
He tried to call the same bullshit. The first time, it's two times. The ref would call. The second time, I make sure I brought my leg in, knee him right on the stern. That was the cleanest shot I ever hit. He put his hand in there. I said, "No way, I'm gonna stop punching you." Then he managed to survive the round, but he didn't want to get back, and he stayed on the stool.
Yeah, and it's like when you kick a cup, you fucking feel it. Like,
100%.
Like you know
it's
when
hard.
you just kick the cup. It's not a good feeling to fucking, like, it hurts the other guy. Of course, when you get kicked in the nuts, it's super bad. But like when you kick a fucking cup, it hurts as fuck, man.
And like it wasn't knee, but like I can feel like I can feel her liver was soft.
Yeah.
Then you complain about the cup. Like that wasn't a low blow anywhere. Anyways, I got what I wanted from that fight. I got a rematch and like kicked the shit out of him. So worth it at the end of the day.
Yeah. And then you fought Dustin Johnson, third pro fight.
Yes.
What was the idea behind that?
I was having a really hard time to find fights. So like that was not really still doesn't really have a heavyweight division around in Canada.
Yeah, no, of course
Like-
not. Like back in the day when you began, there was Adam Deichke, Tanner Bozer, Dustin Johnson. That's
Exactly.
it. Lee Main was there here and there.
Yeah,
Like-
but and still like Dustin was the closest one. Like I wasn't even like close to be a champ or like I wasn't the champ yet, so I didn't have much leverage to ask Jay to get me a guy from outside. I called for the belt. Like Buller was leaving the promotion to go to the UFC. The belt was vacant. They said, "Oh, we have Joyson. He's a 5-0 and he's a good fighter." I look at his fight. I said, "Yeah, that would be a great challenge. That would be a good fight." I always been very comfortable with my skills, and I thought I could beat him. I apparently couldn't back in the day. He controlled me, he outsmarted me, and he got the decision. But I even working like my back against the cage, I managed to shut both eyes out. Like was war. I fought my best, and I learned a lot about this fight. So
yeah, so, like early in your career, like that, to get the chance to fight like such a good opponent, a complete guy who knows his way like around the cage with game plans and strategy and all that, which is like often the part that I don't want to say lacks for younger fighters because everybody comes in with a plan.
Mhm.
But like when you're younger in your career
Here we
and
go.
everything, everyone has a
everyone's-
plan until they get punched in the mouth.
Hey,
Yeah, like first time, I'll always remember when I started the training, I wanted to do everything. So I started jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, and like of course I got my ass kicked at jiu-jitsu, like you can't even imagine. But like I was doing the Muay Thai and like I felt like the combinations I was learning, like they were doing well in the bag and everything. So I did it like for maybe 2 months, 3 months. Then I said, oh, I'll come to the open mat and I'll try to spar somebody for fun, you know?
okay.
And bro, the fucking guy just kicked me in my head and I had no idea what to do anymore. Like all the things that I was working on in the bag and everything, like I didn't remember shit and I looked like a guy like drunk in a bar trying to fight another guy, and I was getting my ass whooped, and I liked it a lot. I think like you can learn that from grappling, but you learn it more from striking. Because grappling, yeah, you're gonna get submitted, you're gonna get your back taken, you're gonna get mounted, and it's gonna be tough to breathe or whatever. But you're not getting like punched in your face
Hell
and
no.
like your brain rattling and everything. So I think everybody should try striking. Then a little after a year, I quit Muay Thai because I just like Jiu-Jitsu a lot, and I was like, if I quit Muay Thai, I got 1 more hour to do Jiu-Jitsu. So
Fair enough. Like,
that's just what I did, and like I knew that I wasn't probably never gonna fight or whatever, and like I won't lie to you, I had the idea here and there to, oh, maybe I should like do striking for a year, and like I got good jiu-jitsu now, so I could be able to, if I can just defend myself on the feet, I'll take the fight down and do my stuff. And then I go to BFL and see that poor fucking Derek guy get absolutely knocked the fuck out in an amateur fight, and I'm like, yeah, I think that's the reason why I'm not doing any amateur fights. Because, like, let's say that's what you want to do with your life, you can take the risk to get knocked out because it's probably like gonna happen someday, or like in some manner. Even you can win the fight and still like get knocked out, and you were able to survive and everything, but like your brain still suffered the effect from
100%, yeah.
like the knockout or the flash knockout or whatever the fuck happened. So if you want to do this with your life, go ahead. But I'm not about to be a pro fighter.
Fair enough.
Like, so why would I get like lose some brain capacity for that? And I'd maybe go there and take the fight down and submit the guy and win. But like I'm not about to take that chance, man.
It's fair. Like I know, like especially back home, we have so many killers on the ground. Like on the our BJJ program there,
Yeah.
it's great. Got world champions. They don't know how to throw a punch, and they have no interest in to get in the cage. They don't like the fighting aspect. They don't. Usually, BJJ fighters don't really like to get punched in the face. That's why they just do BJJ.
Yeah, man, we grapple, we smoke weed. We don't want to get punched, man. We're just like, yeah, guard. Let's be flexible with our legs and
It's fun sometimes.
Yeah. No,
I
it's fun.
like maybe a little bit sadistic of me, but like I enjoy taking a good punch during training or fighting.
Yeah, I
Gets me fired
don't
up.
know if I enjoy taking one, but when back home when the guys are training for MMA fights, I'll always be there for the trainings where like we do ground striking,
Yeah.
like ground and pound or whatever. Like there's nothing more fun than just sitting on the half guard and there you go, motherfucker, fucking punch that guy in the face. It's fun, but yeah, it's not good for you. But I guess if nobody was doing that, I wouldn't be here doing podcasts with fighters.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So then after that, you win a bunch of fucking fights. You're there like the BFL heavyweight goat and whatever. Then you get a shot at the contenders. You're ready for it. Then fucking visa issues. That must have been a shitty time. Like,
Yeah, man. Like just coming back, rewinding a little bit, just going over the BFL, like that fight of Joyson paved that experience that I had paved the way to show. Like after that was full dominance. Like
like we kind of knew that after that, Johnson was kind of leaving, and you were kind of gonna be the guy left there to run the division. Basically.
What was just like, okay, I got the experience and I got a lot of like good training, good fighting here. Even with the loss, I'm gonna take what I learned and I'm gonna just move forward and just brand everyone. But yes, dude, this visa issue was really frustration. Was one of the most frustrating things I ever had to deal with.
Do you think there's like I don't want to put like anything onto the US or whatever, but do you think there's like discrimination regarding visas? Because like I never applied for an American visa. I don't know, okay? But most of the Canadian fighters, like from Canada, they don't have much trouble getting into the US. Most of like European fighters from like France, the UK, all of that. But why do Russians, Brazilians, and Mexicans always got trouble with the US visa?
Like I am applying for the visa as we speak. So my official answer is I always had a tourist visa to the US. I never had problem going in with my family, by myself. I've been living in Canada, and so I use the US as a connection a lot. So I will blame, for safer reasons for me, I will blame on COVID. So I don't want
Yeah,
to get
it's right.
into.
It's true that there was COVID times, and I think the US didn't like us pretty much during COVID.
Yeah, they that was a lot. Like that was very harder to get everything done during the COVID. So I rather blame the COVID and just the delay. But like I think now things they're cleared up. I got a I got a good team behind me. I show another win if that was what I have to do with a guy that was coming from the states. So there's I don't think that will
Yeah,
happen again, and I'm very excited to fight the contender. But to be honest with you, like it's very frustrating. Like getting back after getting your dream crush is very hard. Like come pick
yeah,
up the pieces, going back to the gym and knowing like because we always have like the idea, oh no, we're gonna get a last minute shot, but like as a heavyweight, there's not many heavyweights that fight. And to get a last minute shot is very hard because I don't have a US visa, and most of the UFC cards were held in the US for the past year. Now they're going here and there, but up to now was only US. So I knew like I needed the visa to go to the US, but I need the UFC contract to get the visa. So I said, yeah, fuck it, I'm gonna wait to the Contender Series. I'm gonna keep working, and here I am, feeling good, feeling ready, and I'm very excited to fight again.
yeah. And they didn't forget about you, which is good, because like it's gotta be frustrating to like come back here and then like something happens and you gotta fight Lee Main again, and like he's a good opponent. We like Lee Main. He's a fucking legend. Like without him, MMA in Canada wouldn't be the same. He did so much, but like there's a point where you're kind of past these kind of matchups and you gotta kind of stick around for a year more doing these fights that like of course it's a fight, you gotta be ready, you gotta be motivated, but it's not as motivating as like the big Contender Series, or like when you feel like you're there to still be here, it should
Again,
suck.
it's a little bit frustrating and all, but I the way I try to put on my head is I gotta if I'm here and I think I'm better than the guys I'm fighting, I just go there and dominate. I just gonna there and finish the first round. I don't want to go to the judges. I don't want to leave any excuse for anything. Go there, do what I'm here, do what I have to do, and let's keep going.
And even working on the submissions and stuff, man.
Dude, I got my black belt.
Like pulling out the arm bars.
Yeah, I started on BJJ. I just got my black belt in Brazil last year with my master Marcio Mendes, also from Nova União, Robson Moura. Dude, I've been around the grappling game for a really long time. I'm a good grappler. I'm not a competitor on BJJ or anything, but I know my way around the ground, and like people just slip on me because I like to strike.
Yeah. And for heavyweight to know how to grapple is pretty good because most of them don't.
Hell yeah.
We've seen so many like mid fighters get into the heavyweight. Like I don't want to like pile up on the poor guy, but fucking Sergey Spivak is getting main events here and there. That's only because he can grapple. Only because that's the only thing he does.
And like he just got lined up with Cyril
Cyril
Gane.
Gane, yeah, I know, man. He's getting the
And,
big spots in France and all of that.
and honestly, I think Spivak can win this fight. I love Gane's strike. I think he's very dynamic on his feet, but like he showed zero understand of ground game with on his both title fights. The
Yeah,
only
man.
times he got to the ground, he showed he had no idea what he's doing there. I hope
no,
he's
it's
working
bad,
on that,
man.
but like, come on, for a guy at that level, that's unacceptable.
Yeah, no, I know, man. I was so mad during the John Jones fight because, like, we've had the chance to see Cyril fight. He fought in Quebec for TKO his three first fights, and
I heard that.
like I had the chance to meet him, and he's a good guy. So and everything. So of course I root for him. But fuck, man, you're fighting John Jones, and he grabs your neck around the cage, and like you got no defense. Like no, it's not even. I'll try to take the grips and just hang on to the grips until no defense whatsoever. He let the guy adjust his guillotine to exactly where he needed it to be, and then Like even the way he got taken down with the kick behind the knee and he just fell on his all fours to the mat. It was such a sad performance. And like you say, man, fucking Spivak, he's not that good. He's not the most durable guy, but he's got a good takedown game and he's good on top. And when you're a heavyweight and you have that,
It's just halfway half the battle.
yeah, half the battle, and you can strike too. So you got everything. Before we get into the contender fight, I just want, let's say you fly to Brazil. Is it possible for you to have a layover in the United States, or they won't let you?
So yes, I was telling you, I have a tourist visa.
Okay.
I was just in the I came from
Yeah.
the US yesterday. I was
Yeah.
I was in Vegas for the pre-fight shooting for the Contender. I every time I come from Brazil, we do layovers on
In
the
the
States.
US.
I
Okay.
was in Florida. I went to Disney World with my family last year. What's this work visa? I don't know. I don't understand. I I don't want to I don't want to sound like a jerk or
Yeah.
anything, but it's not that I'm trying to get there to change my life. I had a very good childhood, as I said before. My family is well off and all, so I don't. It's not that I'm scraping and I'm here to work on your
Like,
McDonald's.
there's no chance
and,
that you get there and you
Eh,
never leave.
I'm doing that and I'm looking for this visa just for an opportunity to stay. No, I just want to compete. If the UFC wasn't on the US, I had no reason to be asking for that visa.
Mhm.
Just I need to do that to do my work. I have the capacity to do it, and here I am. Let me fight.
Yeah. Well, it's good though, because I'm helping a lot of like the guy from Samurai.
Yeah.
I help him with a lot of the plane tickets and everything. And we can't get the Mexicans to have layovers in the US. They won't let them off the plane, basically. And that sucks so much, bro, because I can get some plane tickets for like $500
Hell yeah.
from
Way
Mexico to, let's say, Atlanta to here. But they can't get off the plane, so I gotta find direct flights or like stupid ass flights, man, that they fly like from Mexico to Cancun and then Cancun to here. So they basically go south to fly north, like some stupid stuff. And like the price of the tickets are absolutely insane. So I think the US should get their shit together and fucking let people just, bro, like he's gonna be in the international zone of your airport for 2 hours. Like
And-
what's the whole fucking deal? But yeah, that was my
we're
little
living
brag
we're
here.
living such a globalized world. Is it I feel so it's
Like,
so weird
in
that
Europe, you don't even need your passport to cross between countries.
border is such a thing. Come on, it's really
Yeah, and the
Yeah.
fucking US. I don't want to get
again.
into that stuff, but
I'm applying for my visa. So U.S. government, I really like you guys. Please, U.S. immigration people, I want to end to fight. I'd like
he
you
wants
guys.
to he wants to pay taxes in Nevada.
Yeah, come on. I fight. I'm gonna pay you guys taxes and then leave. You want some more? There's any way it can get better?
Yeah. So who the fuck is Kevin Zaflarski?
He's the next villain.
He's the next victim.
He's the guy that's gonna be on the ground in
11-1. He's got like 11 wins in a row. He lost his first fight, but yeah, man, you look at this and 0-0, 0-0, 1-1, 4-12, 7-14, 17-10. So that's not that bad. 1-0, 6-1.
But 17. How
2-3.
old is he? 17 and 10, like 50,
Yeah, bro,
60.
he's probably 2,500 years old. He looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now, good record, but kind of padded record. Like hasn't fought a super high level of competition. I heard he's a big motherfucker, though.
He is. So, first of all, we never know what's going on in that part of the world in terms of records. We know, like, whenever they fly guys over there, they give the worst treatment possible. And I think his record, like, he looks great on paper. Yes, he probably never fought a competition like have a UFC level. Definitely not. But sorry, what's the other question?
Well, I don't think I really had a question. Who is he? And I think he's.
He's asking if he's a big guy. Yeah, apparently he's very lanky. He's 6'6", if I'm not wrong, and like he's very big reach as well, but slow guy. He doesn't have. He's not a dynamic fighter. He has 3, 4 combinations that he likes to go to, and I already have counters and ways to go around all of them. Like I'm going for easy night in the office. Like I'm gonna be, of course, like always, the best shape of my life. I gotta be ready for war, ready to kill. But like I don't see anywhere this guy can get me.
Yeah, because like you say, he's big, he's tall. Like we don't want to assume because I haven't watched any footage on him. I just tried to
I do. I
fucking
do.
remember
I
his
did.
name
I
and
did. I did watch all the footage I could get. Some are kind of dated, so it's hard to tell if
yeah.
he's in that level right now. But it like just two starts. What difference size me with another heavyweights is I'm quicker and I have better cardio and I can keep a better pace. So and he's the opposite. He's a slow guy with a very slow pace. Like I can see he's coming a mile away.
Yeah, and he's probably a striker. Like
It's hard to tell because like he strikes very little, but he has in his record is like 5 KO, 6 subs, something like that. But I didn't see anything special. I've seen just it's a big guy. He has a good record. Gonna look on paper for me, and I'm just gonna do there again on the best shape of my life. I don't overlook opponents. If I sign to fight you, and I think I'm better than you, no matter what. I'm gonna look all your tape. I'm gonna see your flaws, and I'm gonna exploit that. I'm gonna be on the best shape of my life. I don't look opponents over. I'm here to win no matter what.
yeah, and you might be like one of the ones bringing back the smaller heavyweight thing, because I feel like when Ngannou came in, like everybody was like, oh no, we need to get bigger. Even John Jones like took fucking 12 years to get bigger to be a heavyweight or whatever. But I remember before that the division always has been ran by like smaller heavyweight. I don't think Cain Velasquez is a super small guy or DC, but like faster guys that can do everything, that can strike, that can wrestle, and that can push a pace. Because, like you said, these big fucking guys, if you're a tornado in front of him, you become tough to deal with because he wants that super measured pace when he can do his
Mhm.
stuff. And like these guys, they tend to like clinch a lot against the cage to try to slow down the pace of the fight. So, and honestly, I think that's to the detriment of the show in the heavyweight division generally. But
Like those guys, most of those guys are not athletes. Like
yeah.
they have hard hands, but don't we all? Those, but they're not athletes. They like even what's his face? I forgot now. Like the one also a wrestler. Everyone was talking a lot about him, but he keeping dying in the first round. Fuck, I forgot right now. Um, those guys are done in the first round. They if they give a little bit more energy than they can, they are come out even before the first horn. I'm warming up. By the time I'm warm and ready to go, I see okay, the fight's over. Like it's a different pace. You have very few athletes right now. I think Gunn is a good athlete. You have Pavlovit's a good athlete. Jones, of course.
Yeah. May have
Um,
gotten some help here and there during his career.
Blades and Aspinall. Beside those guys, it's very little like athleticism. You see like big guys with big hands or like only good on the ground, but like they all gonna guess out. Like we call those guys the 3 liter cokes. By the middle of the party, they out of gas.
Yeah. That's a good comparison, man. I like that. So let's say you win this fight. Dana's like, oh, we need that guy. He's big. He's Canadian and Brazilian. We like both these fucking places. We need this guy. So we sign him. Caio Machado, he's on. Let's go. Then you get a call and you're like, okay, Caio, first fight. We've got an event coming up, let's say in Toronto, and we got an event coming up, let's say in Rio. And you got the choice.
Okay, I'm gonna be very direct right now. There's an event in November 2nd or 3rd in São Paulo. That's where I want to fight. Do my debut in the UFC. I love Canada. I said before many times, like I was born in Brazil, but like I choose to be Canadian. I'm in the middle of getting my citizenship done right now, and I love this country. My family's here. My son is Canadian, was born here. My wife was born here, but I never fought in Brazil. I never
Yeah,
fought close to
you
home.
gotta fight. Oh, man.
I really wanted to do that. So there's already a card set to go. There UFC is already coming back to Brazil. It's a great time to turn around. If I fight at the beginning of August, I have like 4 months to prepare. That's way more than I need. I'll be like, I can rest, I can party, and I can be in a great shape to do a debut.
Yeah, how would you rate Brazilian MMA right now?
As a fighters or what?
Yeah, like fighters generally, because you always had like fucking 11 Brazilian champions. Now there was Amanda, unfortunately, or fortunately for her, she retired. So is there no Glover's not there?
Like we have no champions right
You have
now.
no champions
I
right now, but still like top contenders in every division. Like, do you think Brazilian MMA is in a good place right now, or could like it could be better, or in a bad place?
could be. I think could be better. For sure, there's a lot of people doing great work in Brazil. The people I used to train back home, Hugo Salva, his trainer, Ariane Cardelossi, she's coming up. Like, yeah, I don't. If you have seen her, she fought Lupi
Yeah,
last
she
time.
fought Lupi, yeah.
She's one of the strongest person I know. Like,
Yeah,
she's
she's a truck, man.
huge.
Like
Being suffered injuries, but
like
like
one of my favorite fighters, it's weird, is John Lineker.
yeah,
And I think she's like on that John Lineker like build. She's not that tall, but she's like super strong, and she's a truck, man. She just goes forward. And
but what I think is what happened. We always been better because we had the fighters, we have the coaches, we have all the experience on fighting that no one had, and with the grappling and even the striking, like we were in such a better level than everyone else. So with time, like you saw the Brazilians start going to US, coming to Canada, going all over the place. Like the sports started growing up in all the areas in Brazil. So everyone's catch up with that. But what Brazil stopped doing was catching up with the training, the physicality part of stuff. So again, there's still people doing great job over there, but like a lot of places still are still very amateur. How you do your strength and conditioning and how they do the weight cut, especially.
yeah, we've seen some
Like
Brazilian weight cuts go very, very
dude,
bad.
a lot of Charles. I'm a big Charles Oliveira fan, but like he's not never been good at that shit. Like, come on, like your team has so many fights on the UFC. Haven't you figured out? Talk to a nutritionist. Work a plan.
Yeah. There's so much science behind that nowadays.
We have so much information, and here we have the different. We have the structure on facilities. We have the structure on the regional leagues that makes a lot of difference. Like BFL, he has a greater structure for come up league in Brazil. Even the like Django fight and stuff, they not gonna look as clean. They don't have the same structure. They don't play the fighters the same. So that makes the difference. That's why international MMA is catching up on us.
Yep. And how about Canadian MMA?
Dude, I look around and see good stuff coming up. I think
we're back, man. We're fucking back, bro.
We got a great one with Saint Pierre, but now we got a nice new crop, nice new fighters coming up. Even the regional scene, like you saw the BFL show last weekend, right?
Yeah.
That was really fun.
It was an amazing event, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was an amazing event, and like I said on the English podcast with Josh, sometimes when I see 4 title fights, 5 title fights, like it's good on the poster, but I get a little scared, man. It's like, what if these fights don't deliver? What if these fights go all 25 minutes, 5 of them? But now we got some finishes. Even the one that I was very not looking forward to is the Jared Revel fight, and it's not because of Jared, it's because of Bruno Santos. I have some trauma because of this guy. But yeah, he was on his way to do his boring ass shit for 5 rounds because like he takes you down, then does absolutely nothing. So there's no finishing threat whatsoever. So you're gonna go the full 25. And Jared just fucking took his back, choked him out. It was amazing. But also,
bro. Jared is a very patient fighter, and he that's his game. Like if Bruno didn't give him the opportunity, he would stay there and play that game for the entire 25 because Jared does that. He's a good ground player, and he just waited for one mistake, and Bruno gave to him. But other ways would be a 25-minute ground hold off.
Yeah, not a super scrambling heavy fight, let's say. But no, everything delivered so much, and then the night after with the UFC, and I think that's yes, it's important that we have BFL and that it delivers and that they're bringing people to the contender.
Back to Canada was a great thing.
Like we need that. We need Samurai out east. We need Unified in Alberta. We need
100%.
all the promotions in Ontario doing well, working together. We need Fight League Atlantic out east. We need all of them. But without the UFC here and the Canadian winning, like, bro, half of them weren't favored for these fights.
Hell no.
Like, they were supposed to lose. Jasmine was supposed to get her ass kicked.
She did great, by the way.
It was one of my favorite fights, man. It was amazing. But, like, everybody did so well with tough matchups. They delivered. Everything was perfect. Their mic time after everybody made the most out of the opportunity that they had. And, like, I won't lie to you, I'm good friends with Charles Jourdain.
Yeah.
And he told me that when he was talking to the UFC people, like, there wasn't much interest from them for Canadian fighters outside of the one that they already had. But with this event and with the way that people have been talking, and even Dana White has been talking after the event, like, they will come back to Canada this year, and there's going to be some spot for new fighters and everything. And, like, we need that because, like you said, we need to get off the Georges St-Pierre stuff. Like, first of all, we're never going to find another Georges St-Pierre. He's the best ever. Probably the only guy that you can say that was probably better than him is John Jones. And John Jones, had, like we said, maybe some help from some stuff.
You like, all this stuff apart, like technique, style, what they done, body work. You can rank anywhere, like the only peak, George, John, and Anderson, and you can play with those guys everywhere you go. And beside that, then you have like the Khabib, the DCs, and all.
Even the Chuck Liddell, Randy Couture, these old guys that were able to like, they're not as good.
Like, the sport was different back then, so it's hard to compare. I'm saying, like, those guys, that's from those guys forward, that's more than MMA.
Yeah.
Whatever, like Couture, even like the Gracies, those guys fought in a different era. Wasn't a mixed martial art. It was like ground against striking. You see guys starting doing mixing it up, but like those three fighters are the pinnacle of modern MMA in terms of body work and like performancing, and sport grew so much because of that.
Yeah, but we need to get off the GSP stuff because it's not that anymore. And, like, we've got Charles Jourdain, we've got Mike Malott, we've got Barrio doing some amazing stuff. Jasmine just got ranked. Now this year on the Contender. Last year was tough. We had one Canadian on the Contenders. This year we got you, Matteo. We've got Corinne Laframboise. We might have another one that I won't spoil shit for him.
No,
because it's going to be a big moment for him when he gets to announce it.
Congratulations, bro. You know who you are. You deserve it. You watch your last couple fights. You deserve it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's one of the guys that I've been waiting for a long time. But now that makes the four Canadians, and I think you're all in a very good spot to show out, win your fights, and then that's just gonna bring the MMA back up here, and that's just what we needed, man. And as much as, and I was part of that. Like, I was looking at that card, and like, I didn't have my tickets. I bought my tickets at the BFL show.
Yeah, I remember we talking about that.
Because I was like, man, I don't know if I'm willing to pay that much money for a card where basically, like, yes, I love the Canadian fighters. I want to see them fight. But basically, Charles Oliveira was the reason why I went. Like, that's the fight that I was like, I can't miss a Charles Oliveira fight against Dariush, top contender fight and everything. Like, I can't miss that. But I was hesitating. Should I go? Should I not go? Like, it's a pay-per-view, but it should be a fight night. Like, I didn't know. But, man, everything just went so perfect that even people from the US, like the other podcasts that I listen to weekly, everybody had some good stuff to say about that event, because Amanda gave us an amazing moment. Charles gave us like probably the biggest reaction I ever heard in my life for a fighter, and
Alright.
almost everything, bro. I go to hockey games in Montreal, and you know that there's nothing crazier than the Montreal
Yeah.
Canadiens game, especially in the playoffs and everything. If they
Fair
lose,
enough.
we break everything, bro. Basically.
Hey, we are known for that, right?
Yeah, I know. My friend was here when the Canucks lost to the Bruins back. I think it's 2011 or something.
Was it 09? Anyway, it was before my time here,
Yeah,
so
but
I don't
I
really
know
know.
they burned Granville down to the ground, basically.
Yes, that hurt. That was bad.
Yeah, but, it was bad, man. But no, so I've heard some crazy reactions to like athletes and whatever. Like it's an old moment, but there was the captain of the Montreal Canadiens missed a full season because he had cancer. And he at the end of the season, basically he came back for a game. I think it was against Ottawa.
Yeah.
And like, bro, the ovation that he had, like that's the craziest thing I ever saw in my life. And I'm not gonna say that Charles was close to that, but it was not that far, like reaction wise, and the way that, bro, people went when he came out, people went crazy.
But
When he won,
when he started speaking English,
yeah, when he won, people went even crazier. Then he started speaking English. People lost their shit, bro. Lost their shit, man. This guy is so special. So basically, I was going for that. And then, like, it's just such good reaction, such good feelings after that event from everybody that I'm just so happy for fucking MMA in Canada and for all of you guys that, yes, you're so many people that work so hard to get to this level. And for a little while there, we felt like the doors were kind of closed, man. And now they're opening back up, and like all of you guys get that opportunity, and it's just so cool to see, man. Everything building back up. Finally, we had it. Like I know you guys here had it a little easier than us during COVID.
we
Like
did.
we had the fucking
From what I
curfews
heard,
and
yes.
everything. It was absolutely crazy. But beyond all that, COVID took so much from sports
Hell yeah.
in general in Canada. Like fucking Olympic athletes that had to move to other countries to train because there were Olympics that were planned. And like, oh no, sorry, sanitary measures or whatever the fuck, you can't train like swimming.
Yeah.
Or you can train like alpine skiing, and you're an Olympic athlete, and you need so it was so tough on all sports, and to see it build it back up right now is just such a great moment that I'm happy to be here and live.
Yeah, man. Like again, was a tough time for everyone with the pandemic. The sports in general suffered a lot. The Olympics, they changed the Olympics.
Yeah,
A
I know,
year.
bro.
They delay Olympics of the year. And coming back to the card, during time, like since they announced the card, I feeling the vibe on the city. It was like, oh, I don't know, it's very expensive. Then during fight week, I kind of felt the energy kind of changing a little bit. People start getting excited with the face-offs, with the weigh-ins. The BFL show got a lot of rub from that, and like I saw one of the most enthusiastic crowds on the arena. Like BFL has great cards, but like it's a majorly a promotion that like the athlete brings the fans. Not every fan out there is a fan of the sport and all the fighters. So you see like my fans and friends. You see Ali's friends and friends. You're gonna see the Wallet brothers friends and friends, and all the other guys. I don't just want to quick say a couple names, but the crowd was excited to watch fighting, and that was beautiful. And the UFC the other day delivering away, like that was the best possible scenario for that card. All the Canadians won. Charles came out like with a beautiful knockout, speaking English, won the crowd. That dude is a star, and Amanda closed the night with one of the most beautiful retirements I ever seen. Like I fucking cried, dude.
Yeah.
When she was, I have a 2-year-old, so when she was over there with her belts in the floor,
Daughter was so happy dancing,
and she
in
dancing
the
with her daughter and Nina and her team. It's just, dude, that's beautiful. Like that's special.
Yeah, so 1-0 Canada over Brazil because they botched the Glover one, and we did right by Amanda.
Hell yeah. I feel really bad for that night. Like Glover did. Come on, he did it. He fought his ass off. He coming
sad,
up from
man.
2 hard fights. People in his home country, don't leave the fight. Like everyone knew he was going to retire.
Yeah.
Stay there.
But he's fucking living his best life, Glover, man.
Oh hell yeah! Like
Like if there's a guy, every time I open my social media and see what he's doing, he always looks so happy, man, and it makes me so happy to see him happy because fucking Glover Teixeira, man, is like, bro, this guy went through so much. Just
so much.
like there was a point where we were like, he's probably the best in the world, and we're never gonna get to find out if it's true because he wasn't able to come out here and all of that, and man, to get all of this resolved and win a belt at his age and everything.
And he got three different title opportunities. He fought Jones on the peak of the Jones run. Then he got again. He won again. I always butcher his name.
Like that Polish guy.
Yeah.
Blachowicz.
Thank you. And then he got Jamal, like 3 different situations. He got a rub to fight in Brazil. Like the way they finished with the crowd was bad, but like Glover had a beautiful career. He deserved all the glory. Like he's doing great with Poatan.
Then gets the belt with Poatan.
And dude, I'm so excited to see that guy at 205. He's such an interesting fighter.
Yeah, bro, this guy's fucking massive. Yeah, even the first time he looked kind of small next to somebody was Tyson Fury. And he didn't even look that small next to him. Like, it was absolutely insane, man. So, I think that's about it. But there was one question I wanted to ask earlier that I kind of forgot. But since you're here, that's now that I'm going to know. In Brazil, of course, I assume soccer is the number one sport.
Yes.
After that, what's the next big sport?
Whoever's winning.
For real?
Yeah, like I have a little thing with the Brazilian fans that like we love soccer, but we love more our soccer team than our own like club than that national team.
Yeah.
We are really about more about the winning and than about the sports we like. Like when we had a good run of the basketball in the 80s and 90s, and that was the second sport. Then early 2000s, we had the volleyball being the Olympic champion, world champion, and that was the second sport. Then we got the MMA wave. MMA was everywhere. Anderson was doing like Budweiser commercials in Brazil.
Yeah.
Aldo was all over the place.
Fucking Vitor, man.
Belfort, like all those guys are getting the rub, and they deserve it. Then we lost a couple bouts. We got the wave down. Like I'm very glad. Like also, it's also due to the way we broadcast it. Like all the major sports are always being broadcast by Global, and they are very like it's Brazil against the world. Let's cheer for Brazil. They don't wanna sell the sport. They want to sell the game, the Brazil, and let's just cheer because it's Brazil. Right now, I'm very happy that the UFC Fight Pass came up, and the UFC is doing their own broadcast with their own style, and that might change a little bit. I think that will help the sport it will help defense to know other kind of fighters, to understand different, to see the sport differently, and it's also very helpful. Like we have a Star on Charles, we have a couple other fighters that are really big in Brazil, and I think we're gonna have a good new crop. We always do. Like we have so many gems, but I'm excited to see how the fans and everything gonna react now.
We could say that like MMA or combat sport is an important sport.
It's big. Like it's on every gym. It's all over the place. We have the UFC. We have like we know MMA. It's well known. It's one of the top sports, but like kind of goes up and down as people were winning. So I want to see a little bit more. It's gonna be interesting to see now that we don't have any champions after so long. But I think we're still in a good direction for that.
Yeah, and who's the biggest, Anderson, Jose Aldo, or Vitor?
Anderson.
Love
Aldo. Like I'm a big Aldo fan. I'm a big Aldo fan. But like what Anderson Silva did on his peak for him in Brazilian MMA and how the crowd reacted to his fights were insane. Like the fights with Chalsone, they got so much. that was so important for us in terms of like the sport. Like, and I know people hate Chow, and I love the guy, by the way.
Yeah, the trail is amazing. I
But
think he did a lot for.
like the rivalry, and he's saying all this shit, like help the public getting invested, getting behind Anderson. And I think he's one of the most accomplished MMA fighters in Brazil. So I would say it's Aldo, then him, and then have like Belfort. I think Charles is the bigger star that Belfort ever was right now. Right now, so it's gonna be interesting to see. I'm coming up, so good hopes for me.
The next big one. Belfort, wasn't it? Because he dated like a super famous Brazilian.
Yeah, he did one of like a famous dancer. Like she was a dancer, one of those afternoon TV shows. And
Okay,
stuff,
yeah.
like
I think that the
auditorium
old
shows.
people watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was well known. He's been fighting since he was 18 years old. He was a known figure, but as a fighter itself, he's never been that like the biggest star in Brazil. He's always been big, but not for fighting itself.
That's good to know, man. I'm happy to be able to know that, man. Thanks a lot, bro.
Yeah,
Thanks a
man.
lot for taking the time to pulling up to the apartment and everything. So fuck, man. We'll be following August 8th, Contender Series. Caio Machado, Polish guy that I won't try to say his name again, but tall fucking guy who's gonna get knocked out. And we're all here for that, man. Thanks a lot, brother.
Again, Fabian, thanks for having me in the show. I love being here. I love chatting with you. Always have a good time, and yeah, I'm very excited for the next fight. I think it's gonna be a good one. I'm gonna make sure the Easy Night in the office and everyone in Canada that's watching, and let's tune in. Let's cheer up because I might. I'm with I have the Brazilian flag, but in my heart, I'm always Canadian. If I could, I will put. If I can, I will put both flags on me. Like again, I'm Canadian heart. I'm gonna be Canadian paper pretty soon, and I love this country. And let's do it. Like gonna bring another contract to us, and let's run.
Yeah, no shade, but if we accept the Diana Belbita as one of ours, I think you're way more one of ours, man. You're actually out here and doing stuff, and you're a real fucking Canadian fighter for us, man. So let's fucking go.
Appreciate
Thanks for coming. Thanks for watching, everybody, and fucking don't miss that, man. August 8th.